This is Claude Johnson. I'm the founder and executive director of the Black Fives Foundation, and I'm making this video today to celebrate the birth date of Will Anthony Madden, an African-American basketball pioneer who was born on August 24th, 1883. I want to talk a bit about Mr. Madden, his background, his achievements, and his accomplishments, and why I believe he should be enshrined in the Basketball Hall of Fame. But first, if you've read Chapter 1 of my book, The Black Fives, the epic story of basketball's forgotten era, then you know that Mr. Madden was buried in an unmarked grave. Mr. Madden was buried that way because he had no next of kin to claim his body when he died in 1973. My book tells his story and other stories, and I won't give away the ending, but I always wanted to give Mr. Madden not only his proper deserved recognition, but also a proper gravestone. The book itself is like a proper tombstone for this history that was buried in an unmarked grave. So today, I'm happy to report that a formal official gravestone has been placed at Will Madden's burial site, and it's out in Linden, New Jersey, and we're going to head out there and take a look because I haven't seen it yet. Hey, so we're here in Linden, New Jersey at Rosedale Cemetery, and we're at Villa Palmeras, which is a section of the cemetery here, and we're about to go look at the gravestone for Will Anthony Madden. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm here just to go check it out. One of the things that happens when you write a narrative nonfiction is that you become attached to the person you're writing about. And so you develop an attachment because it's really just personal. It's a narrative nonfiction. You're trying to humanize this individual who happened to be a famous basketball pioneer in African-American basketball culture, both by his achievements and what he overcame. But also, you know, we're here for the proper recognition. So we're in Tier 4, and you can find out all the details of how to get here if you read Chapter 1. It's actually in the very first sentence. We're going to see if we can locate where Mr. Madden's gravestone is. Now, I already see it, and I like it. It's very distinctive and proper. This is the monogram that he used in a lot of his publications to promote himself once he became an entertainer. So my book is primarily about the basketball pioneering aspects, but he was also a journalist and he was also a poet. You can read about all this in the book. And he was also an entertainer, and one of the things he said was, "The game's the thing," which is a takeoff on a Shakespeare quote, because he was a thespian too in his later years. And Shakespeare said, "The play's the thing." And so Will Madden, as a student of all of that, said, "The game's the thing." And he couldn't be more right, because ultimately that's what it's all about. And so this is fitting because you know, prior to this, there was just a patch like that, and you see these are the numbers, right? So you can see how in this it looks like it's just carved with a stick. It's got 43, 44, 45, 46, and then this is 47. So it's plot 47. This was where New York City sent its unclaimed dead. Unclaimed because they didn't have any descendants or next of kin or friends or anybody that was able to step forward. And so what the city does in those cases is they still want to bury them and give them proper honor and recognition, but they don't have any information. And so, so a lot of these are unmarked graves, but to save money, they would put them two on top of one another. And I describe that in detail in the book as well. And he's on the bottom of this eternal bunk bed, so to speak. The irony of it is that he literally started from the bottom in his life, and now he's here, and he's going to be, I hope, nationally and even internationally recognized. So I have something for Mr. Madden, and because in honor of his birthday, of course we're leaving flowers, but I also wanted to leave a copy of my book. So I brought a book, copy of the book, my book that I wrote, and it's got Will Anthony Madden's photo on the cover because he's with his team, which was the New York Incorporators. And so I'm going to sign this. It's for Will, and then I'm going to leave it here in a plastic bag. So what I wrote was, "Happy birthday, sir. Thanks for all of your accomplishments and for making the game the thing. Much appreciation, Claude Johnson," and signed Rosedale. It's one thing that sort of helps me bring closure in my own way, because I've been wanting to do this probably since I've discovered that Will Anthony Madden was buried in an unmarked grave, and that was quite a long time ago. And then I also brought some flowers. When you come to somebody's gravesite, in a way you bring them back to life, because you bring the memory of them back to life. And the only way we can keep people who are passed away alive is through the stories and the memories that we keep alive about them. Happy birthday, and I'm sure myself and others will be back.